As I said before, if you are blind to anti-Semitism from one particular side of the aisle because it favors your political position, you are not in the fight against anti-Semitism. You're part of the problem.
Wow, can't believe Ben Shapiro finally admits to not fighting against anti-Semitism. As you all know, another white nationalist shot up a synagogue over the weekend, and what did our intellectual titan, Ben I hate identity politics Shapiro do? Did he warn against stochastic terror and talk about how the far right on the internet plays a significant role in radicalizing young men? No. Did he talk about how alienation is causing young men to feel disenfranchised and seek violent conspiracies to make sense of it all? Nope. Okay, what did he do? Did he instead use this synagogue shooting to attack a Muslim congresswoman who could have just as easily been the shooter's next target, especially considering he committed arson against a mosque the week before? Yeah, that's exactly what Ben did.
If Ilhan Omar is given the credibility to speak out against anti-Semitism while routinely engaging in anti-Semitism, she has a lot of the same opinions about Jews that the white supremacist had in that manifesto.
Ah, yes, Ben. The white supremacist and Somali-born Muslim congresswoman Ilhan Omar share the same opinions about Jews. What a smooth-brained, intellectually dishonest take coming from the guy the New York Times called a gladiator. The dude who admitted to burning a mosque in honor of the white nationalist New Zealand mosque shooter and Ilhan Omar have the same perspective on Jewish people? Why? Because Ilhan Omar said that AIPAC, the Israeli lobby, has an outsized influence on US legislation? That's why this dip shot up a synagogue and urged others to do the same to mosques as well as synagogues? I'm shocked that Ben spent so much time around white nationalists and alt-right dip at Breitbart, but never realized that they basically agree on all the key issues. They all agree on the superiority of Western civilization and that movements like socialism, feminism, multiculturalism, and immigration are causing the West to collapse. Of course, for Ben, the boogeyman responsible for all of these non-issues is the left, and for the alt-right, it's the Jews. But why is Ben attacking Ilhan Omar then? Well, because if you look past tying back everything to an international conspiracy led by Jews, the shooter's perspective is almost identical to Ben Shapiro's. After all, this shooter was influenced by the New Zealand mosque shooter, who was influenced by and referenced the Quebec mosque shooter. The Quebec shooter who, and I hate to do this, was a pretty big Ben Shapiro fan and thought he was acting in self-defense against Muslims. So since Ben read the manifesto and thought it resembled Ilhan Omar's perspective, let's play a game I like to call White Nationalist Synagogue Shooter or Ben Shapiro. Now, the synagogue shooter says he hates Jews for a number of reasons, all of which are, of course, insane, but some will sound familiar to you. For example, for their role in cultural Marxism and communism.
Frankfurt School basically decided to change the culture from the roots out. And in the 60s, what they discovered is that instead of using class, which is difficult, it's difficult to get a poor white guy to sympathize with a poor black guy, instead what they would use as a proxy is racial groups. They would use racial groups to tear down the United States and the capitalist system.
For pushing degenerate propaganda in the form of entertainment.
Imagine a group of activists so powerful that they could beam their propaganda directly into your brain. Now also imagine that they're so sophisticated, they actually get you to pay them to do it. Unfortunately, you don't have to imagine it. It's real. It's Hollywood.
For their role in feminism, which has enslaved women in sin.
The left destroyed traditional mores with regard to relations between the sexes. Destroyed them wholesale. Sexual activity was supposed to be confined, this was at least the ideal, was supposed to be confined to committed relationships, particularly marriage.
For causing many to fall into sin with their role in peddling pornography.
I did write a book about why pornography is bad, because pornography is bad. Like, it's not decent, it's immoral.
For their role in voting for and funding politicians and organizations who use mass immigration to displace the European race.
John Lennon's Imagine says it's multiculturalism at its finest, right? Imagine there's no religion, imagine there's no God, imagine there are no borders, imagine there are no values. Everybody comes in, we just accept everything, there are no standards, and that's how you end up with dead people. Because it turns out that not everybody is singing John Lennon's Imagine along with you. There are just people who take advantage of your stupid John Lennon Imagine ideology to come into your country and then murder you.
The shooter also talks about being called a racist or a white supremacist. Make sure to call me a white supremacist, an anti-Semite, or whatever bull you spew to spook the normal. It doesn't even matter. You've been calling every white person alive those names for decades. They've lost all their meaning.
The left has a habit of calling everything racist, like legitimately everything racist. If you're gonna call everything racist, I'm not gonna pay any attention to what you say, right? And if you call something racist, I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt to the person you're calling racist.
Now look, Ben isn't the only one who engages in this rhetoric. I'm just singling him out right now to make a point. And because he's a coward who's transparently trying to deflect the blame he would accept if he had any integrity onto Ilhan Omar. Anti-Semitism and Islamophobia are often two sides of the same racist coin, and Ben is inadvertently aiding in the radicalization of a lot of young men. So while he might think that this new wave of Judeo-Christian values unified against the common enemy will protect him, he quickly forgets that fascism is built upon the principle of exclusion, and it certainly won't take much for these people to turn on him after they're done with brown folk. I'm Hasan Piker. If you like this video, please share it with your friends and leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'm going to do a deeper analysis on Ben's words on my Twitch at twitch.tv/Hasanabi after 5 p.m. Pacific. And if you'd like to help TYT, please go to tyt.com/join and join TYT membership. It's only $5 a month and it greatly helps us. And this has been The Breakdown. Never miss another breakdown video by ringing the bell below. You'll get notified whenever we publish something new. Also, don't forget to join TYT today. Download our TYT Plus app on your phone or head on over to tyt.com/join.